So everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight for Heroes of Hyperborea. As we dive back into tonight's adventure, we're going to do a quick introduction. First, my name is Trevor. I am your DM storyteller tonight. And below me, I have the honor, nay, the privilege of gaming with these fine men. Below me, we have my favorite voice actor. We have...
Bob Carter, also known in tonight's game as Androcles Thalassa, chronicler and cartographer of these, the last days of the great Atlantean Empire. Search of New Atlantis, or what could be the next New Atlantis.
I like that. And below him, we have...
Hello, my name is Danny. I play a
Brogan.
paladin of Apollo named Brogan. And just for a little extra added bonus, you can see my sleeping puppy right there. She is a red healer named Sonia, so she is Red
She's
Sonia.
the Red Sonia.
Yeah.
All right, and below Danny, we have...
Hey, I'm Chris Bradley, older statesman and brother of Trevor Bradley. And I play Magus, the Grecian magician who has been dabbling a bit in being real handy with star metal.
That's right.
Pulling powers from the star metal.
Pulling powers from the
Most
star metal.
recently, he figured out how to turn himself invisible.
Which was quite handy.
Fun. Which was quite handy.
When Androcles came in and went full like Django meets Roadhouse last week, and
It was like, we could go on a fun adventure,
but
and
there are
he's like,
slavers here, and they got to go.
Yeah.
or we could do that.
Now we can look. Now we've got a clean slate, and now we can go on our
Right.
adventure.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it Captain Androcles or is it Admiral Androcles at this point?
Now it's Captain.
Just Captain.
Right now
Let's-
it's just
just
Captain. Only
Captain.
got one ship.
Right. You have option. You have a second boat option. So
We're
All
working
right.
on that.
we're working on that. I also noticed that Chris's character is a Grecian magician, and he used to play a Chimerian barbarian. So he's got like this rhyming scheme going. I only play races and classes that rhyme. That's the only thing I can do. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and start tonight's adventure. We are going to return again to the scene of the crime. We're going to return to Ryland, where we left our adventurers last week. And we return to Hyperborea. We return to the coast of Dagon Bay. And in this little coast, we find this small village of Ryland. Now, Ryland is an Eskimo village that's filled with a lot of interesting folks. And what we figured out is that while there were slavers that were staying there for the winter, not anymore, but those slavers apparently were werewolves. And what we saw last week is our heroes came about the slavers that they used to be their masters. Androcles busted in the room and said, "No more of this," and chaos ensued as they kicked the werewolves out by killing all of them, like Roadhouse style, and setting things straight. Now, as that happened, they also met the priest that are kind of the chieftain of the town. They met Chief Tiatu and also Halphus, and they are the priest of the town. Also, Tiatu is also the chieftain, and they worship a deity that seems to live in the water, a little deity known as Cthulhu. So that is where we'll pick up the action. Now, we've also got to tell the story, a little recap, because the party is the three heroes that we have here, but we also have picked up a couple of sidekicks, if you will. We have a BG, the small little strange pig thing they picked up when they did their brief little journey to Cycronish. Here's BG, who's been riding around in the backpack of Brogan, full Yoda style. And also Brogan, who's also picked up a young stable boy named Wallian. And Wallian is kind of turned into his squire, and is actually at the end of last time's adventure decided to take the Apollo Creed and join the services of the Paladin of Apollo. And for reference, let's also pull up Wallian as well. So here is Wallian, the one-eyed stable boy. He was actually, he worked for his uncle's shop, who was, or grandfather. He worked for his grandfather's leatherworking shop. So that is the party so far. We have BG, the strange little pig thing that came from Cycronish, and then we have Brogan's new squire. Now, from talking last week to Halvis, the priest of Cthulhu here, there is concern that werewolves generally tend to run in packs, and they were concerned, well, if there's already seen 3 or 4 of these, are there 5, 6 or more? So they want to protect the town. So what they've decided to do is Siku, the huntsman that you guys have met, or ranger or whatever, he's a woodsman. He has been tasked with going out, way out into the wilds, near the peaks of the foothills of the mountains. There is a place that strange things grow, one of which is reported that Wolfsbane grows there. So he is going to travel out there while the other centuries of the town are kind of going to double the watch. And one of the things they're looking for is to find a way to gather as much silver as they have in town to melt into spearheads and things of that nature, to try, in case another one of these shows up, that they are able to defend themselves. With that, the chieftain has asked the party who dealt with the werewolves so efficiently if they would accompany Siku to travel out into the Hyperborean wilds, the wilds of Sarnoth, and help him recover the Wolfsbane. So where we pick up this story is it's the next day. We've rested, we've recovered, we've feasted, and repairs to the lodge have begun, as there were some collateral damage from the combat that ensued, and with that we pick up the action. So the story right now is we're outside of the lodge and we are getting our gear and things together. Brogan, you are meeting with Alfar, who has agreed to let Wallian travel with you for a while, and it might be, Alfar believes this would be good for the young lad to see the world and toughen him up a little bit. And with that, he has equipped him with some studded leather armor that is to his like and to his fit. He has a small dagger that you've gifted him before, and he has a backpack and some rations and foods, and just kind of getting his gear together to travel out into the wilds. So you are dealing with that, getting Wallian ready. A young 12-year-old boy, the blonde-haired kid, is excited to go off on an adventure. And with that, Androcles, you're getting to know this Siku. Now, Siku is an Eskimo, and he has got a giant cart that he's got as like a sled, and he's got a large horse that's pulling it, and he's putting gear and camping supplies onto this sled. So you see him putting together, camping, food, things of that nature. It seems that it's about a 2 to 3 day travel to the snow pass, so you've got to have enough supplies to get there and then back again. So that's a good 6 days, and he wants to travel for 7 just to be on the safe side. So he's getting all the provisions and things together as well. And now, Magus, while all of that is happening, you see all the provisions, you see them getting ready for the journey. You see that Brogan's getting his horse together. What would you like to do?
I'm going to go back up to my room and get my belongings and take a moment to gather my thoughts and meditate
and prepare and write down all the things you want to prepare for today as you are traveling out into the wild. So you're waiting for daybreak. Now, where we are in the Hyperborean calendar, it is the 11th year, and we're moving into the 12th month. So what this means is that you have about a 5-hour window of daylight, and then followed by a very long night. It's an 18-hour stint of night. Now, the way that the cycles work here, particularly at this time of year, is that there isn't really a sunrise and sunset. Day comes quickly and night comes quickly. It is a very fast transition. It is just the time of the year, the way the red sun hits. It is a quick transition. So what you were trying to do, the moment that daylight hits, is to dash out as fast as we can and get to, basically there's a riverbank that they're wanting to get to in the first 5 hours and camp. So Siku has basically a set schedule of where he wants to try to camp each day, but the problem is there will be a lot of traveling at night. So he knows the area, and with that he's also asking around for aid. And with that, Androcles, you're with him as he looks over to you and goes, Would you mind if we brought a couple of extra hands?
Would be welcome, my friend. More hands makes for lighter work. By the way, Trevor, what do I know about the Sarnathians? Are they vulnerable to anything?
Well,
I'm concerned.
You've heard the legends of the fish people, and you know that they live beneath this frozen lake. They're not necessarily vulnerable to anything. You feel that you have an advantage because one of the tactics that you've heard is they try to pull people into the water, which you would welcome. So that is something to be aware of, is they try to harpoon or net people into the water to make them easier prey. You also have found out that they seem to be carnivorous, in the sense that they also try to eat those that they capture.
Okay, so I make sure that I warn Brogan and Magus about the tactics of the Sarnathians, and so that way we can plan accordingly. If we need to skirt around the frozen lake, are we going to have to cross over the frozen lake
Yes.
on our way to?
There will be twice that we'll have to cross over.
Okay. In that case,
And now I'm going to pull up the map just so we can kind of get an idea. So we'll zoom into the map here, and this little house here is Ryland. So what we're doing is we're going to skirt across here, and we're going to have to cross the water here. This is what we're trying to do in the first 5 hours. We're going to try to dash as close to this as possible. From there, we're going to cross over. We're going to go over these little hills. We'll have to cross over again at this little fork, and the snow pass is here. Hopefully we can do this in 3 days.
Understood. Very well. Also, can we get some dogs? Can we get some huskies or Salamis?
Well, he has an idea of something better. He's like, well, I have a friend of mine that will come. If you like an extra hand, he's okay, but he'll help. He'll be a good extra hand to carry things around. But I noticed that there's a mercenary in town we could hire, and she's quite adept and quite a warrior. She would be the one to take if you have coin to trade or something.
Very well. In that case, let us hire this woman for her muscle, and I still think we should hire some dogs, just because their nose will be welcome within these frozen wastes. They might alert us to trouble.
I'll see what we can do. So he looks over and he goes, tell you what, if you'll go, and he points out to the sentry tower that's in front of you, and he goes, you'll see a larger woman there, armor clad. She came in last night. She's probably staying here for the winter, but I'm sure she'll take some coin. Go find her. Her name is Vorpai.
Vorpai. Very well. I will go and seek out this Vorpai.
As you do that, he goes over to the stable master, and there's a hound there. He's going to see if he can't take with them as well. So he's going to see it's a good idea to take a dog. So as he does that, you make your way into the tower. You walk in. There's a big flame in the middle as everyone's kind of getting in together to kind of keep warm as the winter is coming in, and it's bitterly cold. Everyone even is still wearing your large fur as you're inside. It's just bitterly cold. As everyone's inside, you see there are other women here, but there's only one who's clad in armor and is actually carrying like a plate armor, or like it's almost like a scale armor that you see, which is she carries herself well, and she carries armor. It's heavy, and she carries it, as if it's nothing. And she looks about as you see her drinking a giant, keg of mead. She's just like pouring it into her stein and drinking it. She sees you come in, and she kind of looks, and with her long blonde hair, looks and kind of like raises her flask at you.
All right. I will smile and head her way, and ask if the seat across from her is taken, and if I might join her for a moment.
And as you do that, she looks and goes, "Sure." She looks at you and goes, "So who are you? I haven't seen you And she looks up and goes, "You're Atlantean, aren't you?"
I am, indeed. I am Captain Androcles Thalassa.
Oh,
And I am in need of a warrior such as yourself. You're in Ryland and you're here for the winter. Would you be willing to join us for an adventure, perhaps?
Nah.
We could use your shield.
Well, it depends. Coin. Do you have coin or what to trade? And also, what are the details of this adventure? How long will this journey take?
A journey that is expected no more than 6 or 7 days.
Week.
3 days travel out, 3 days back, and possibly a day extra just in case.
So 7 days.
We seek Wolfsbane for the protection of Ryland. So we seek to do something good for the people of the village here.
Let's see. What do you have for trade? Do you have coin? Do you have precious gems, metals?
I do. Is there something in particular that you seek? I also have information as well. As I said before,
Information does not keep my belly warm and full. What do you have for trade, coin or gold?
But in this case, I have gems. I have coin as well. If I might inquire, what is your price, my lady?
Well, we will barter. First, show me your precious metals and gems, and I will tell you what. So she just wants to see what do you have? Like if you've got coins or what?
Certainly. I do. So based on what we've gotten over time, most recently, we got 13 gold pieces. We've got a small aquamarine, some encrusted. We got that electrum anklet. We got a gold chain, the bronze anklet, gem encrusted bronze circlet.
She looks over at the anklet, and she goes, "That's nice. Tell you what, you trade me that, I'll be your hand for a month."
Smile. I wink at her and I say, "It is done with pleasure, my lady." And I'll go ahead and trade her the
electrum gem encrusted anklet.
Oh yeah.
So that's 30 days of a hireling. And she goes, "Well, I will. When do we leave?"
Morning.
Oh, good.
Is there anything you need in particular?
No, I'll just go get some feed from my horse.
Excellent. Agreed.
Okay.
All right.
With that, she comes out. I do have a picture of Vorpai. So there's Vorpai.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
Picture.
So she comes out. She finishes her drink. She finishes her fish that she's eating. Wipes the grease off of her chin as she walks out, looking over to the stable and walks over, and you see a very large brown steed that she goes up to with a very fine, intricate saddle. She goes over there. You see her pulling out a very well-made blade. It looks like a long sword. She does have a shield as well that she attaches. You see a second shield on the side of the horse as she's getting everything together, and she reaches over and she pulls a giant lance off the side of the building and straps it on the side of her horse.
All right. Mighty knight. Is she a knight? Is she a cataphract? Is she a cavalier?
She's Vorpai, the warrior.
Perfect. Excellent. I asked her where she's from.
She goes,
I looked forward to chronicling her story.
Originally from Chromeria.
Originally from Chromeria. One of my closest companions recently was from Chromeria. Recently killed in battle. And you Chimerians, you fight with honor and
a glorious
power.
death, I hope.
It was a glorious death. And he is much missed. And we gained vengeance in his name and in his honor. And Akon will be missed.
Good.
But come, let me introduce you to my companions. Brogan,
So
paladin of Apollo.
Brogan, you walk up with Walian at your side, also going to get Draken, your mighty steed, ready that you've aptly named after your fallen friend. He goes and gets your white steed with the black mane together with all the barding and everything correct. So as he's working on that, you meet up with Androcles. You also meet this new mercenary he's hired, Vorpai, a very capable looking female warrior that's carrying armor and seems to know what she's doing. Like, she's wearing everything correctly and carrying it with ease.
Well, hello, my name is Brogan. I see you've met Androcles. So what's up with the dual wielding shields? Never seen that one before.
Well, you never know when you might need a spare.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Hey, let me take a look at that lance.
Oh, you like it? And she pulls out this lance, and it's nicer than yours. It's a harder, sturdier wood that doesn't look like it's from this region, and it's crafted extremely well. You have lance envy.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, what's the story on this lance? What kind of wood is it? Where'd you get it?
It's an elderwood that only grows near my hometown.
Oh,
okay.
Where's that?
Near Comaria.
I mean, what is the name of the town? I'm a chronicler. I'm always interested in learning of new towns, new cities.
Hookdale.
Dale.
I'm gonna try to decipher if she's like just a knight or like a paladin. Is she wearing any?
You don't see any religious anything on her at all.
Okay.
As you're looking at Brogan, you look over your side and you see that Siku is getting everything together. You also see that there's seems like an older gray-haired gentleman helping him and is like putting his pack in the bag. It's not someone you recognize. He has a scar across his face and one of his eyes are like grayed out. It looks like you had another one-eyed companion that seems to be joining you. You look over and Siku goes, oh, sorry. Old fishing buddy, friend of mine. He's going to be coming with us. Hugo. Hugo is his name. Hugo, please, come. And Hugo looks over and goes, oi. And he kind of reaches out. Very scraggly looking guy. Pretty well kept gray hair. He's got slicked back, but he does a nasty scar. One of his eyes is out. But between he and Wallian, they have one full set of working eyes.
Is this Halvis and Halvis together? The two Halvis make a whole.
Right. This is Hugo.
What's going on here?
This is Hugo.
Let's do Elvis make a whole.
He's wearing like a leather armor, and is lightly armed. Daggers, things of that nature. Seems to be more of a helper to help carry the things for Siku.
By the way, since we're going to be traveling overland for the week, I need a horse. Can I see this stable hand about that? Are there horses here, or am I going to need to ride in the sled or ride with Vorpai? Was a joke.
You can. You go and you meet up with Halvis, the lesser Halvis, that is the stable hand. They do have one other horse. It's a smaller horse. It's not the large war horse that the other two are carrying in your party, but it's a capable steed. A black steed. Is that right? Now he's looking and he's feeding it. It seems like he kind of treasures this, and he's feeding the horse. He looks over and goes, "Oi, you need any more supplies?"
We will. As a matter of fact, we have one more joining us, Magus. So I'm certain that we'll need enough feed for the horse. And how much for the horse, my friend?
Oh, I wasn't planning on selling it, but what do you have for trade?
Well, I'm happy to trade you this copper brooch. It's very nice, gem encrusted, very stylish.
He looks over and he goes, "Do you have any coin to go along with that? I like it. I'll trade for it. Do you have some coin to go with it?"
You know what? Based on what I know about value and things of that nature, do I need to roll for this, or do I need to, barter him down? Do I need to charm him? You tell me. What do I need to do?
Make a charisma check.
Just charm him.
Right. You just give me a d6 check.
6.
This is a charisma check.
Right.
You feel that the copper thing may not be worth that much. So throwing in a few coins seems fair.
Sure. All right. Whatever I need to pay him.
He asked
3
for,
gold.
do you have 5 gold you could throw in on top of it?
5. How about 4?
Fair. So 4 gold and the copper gem encrusted
Right.
brooch. Okay.
All right.
All right. So you trade that and the gold. He hands over the black steed and it has saddle and everything on it as well. So with that, you have a horse. Now that's all they have for sale. Now Magus, you come back downstairs and you see everyone getting ready, and you see Wallian jumping in the back of the sled. You see Siku and Hugo riding in the front of the sled, and then you see these 3 other horsemen between Wallian, no, sorry, not Wallian, but Vorpai, Brogan, and now Androcles are on horses, and you don't have a horse.
Are there any other horses for sale or for trade?
And Halbus goes, sorry, I'm all out. And Wallian looks over at you and he says, oh, Magus, I saved you a spot right here in the back.
Perfect. Thank you, lad. I'll gladly take it. Thank you for your thoughtfulness.
Okay, so you jump in the back of the sled, and the mighty warhorse that they have begins pulling the sled outside of town. And with that, the shopping and the trading and the bartering is done. Is now day becomes very quickly apparent as it comes up quickly, and even before that, you are outside the gates and heading out at a very brisk pace. All of the horsemen are able to move up to the front, and as soon as everyone rides out, you notice immediately that the 2 people here that are extremely good on the horses, both Brogan and Vorpai, are storming out to the front, and kind of they too are kind of side by side as they're kind of scouting out and moving forward and kind of following this tributary that feeds into the river as you're kind of tearing across the snowy expanse. Androcles.
After we get out of sight of the town, I want to make sure that I spend a good amount of time getting to know my horse and befriending my horse.
Okay.
Befriending my horse so
Okay.
I can count on it.
Okay. So you
yeah.
befriend your
Okay,
horse.
that's
So you use your spell to befriend the horse.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So with that, and it doesn't let you speak to the horse. It just y'all are friends. Or does that speak with animals?
Friends now.
Different?
Basically, I don't have to worry about it running off and abandoning me in the wilds of the wilderness.
Right.
and not
So
coming back to me,
you
so-
two are simpatico. You are simpatico. All right.
Yes.
So you take your horse and you're staying closer to the sled that's being pulled by Siku and I'm thinking his name's Hugo. Siku and Hugo are riding out with you as well. And for the first 5 hours of the day, everything goes great. It's a beautiful day. There's not a lot of snow. You're just kicking up. There is a high wind that kind of cuts across, but all of you make it across and get to this expanse that you were hoping to right as the end of the day. And that will move over to our first scene. Now, the first scene that we get to is a familiar scene for you, Magus. This is the same route that you took as you were traveling out looking for your meteor a few weeks ago. And as you look across, you see the frozen lake, you see the mountain, and you see the remains of whatever that fishing village is off to the left that was abandoned, and it still seems to be abandoned, especially now as it's moving in tonight. As you get closer, you see Siku look over at Magus in the back, and he goes, "Wow, normally we camp here, but now that the Sanathians are around the bank, what do you think? Should we camp where we fought before, where there's that defensible position, or should we try to push on through the night?"
I think this is a good opportunity for my friend to take a closer look ahead of us. And with that, I open up the robe and my Archaeopteryx comes out.
Okay, so Archaeopteryx comes out, this little lizard bird flies out, and he begins like circling the area. Now, as that happens, you can actually see through his eyes, correct?
Right.
All right, so as your eyes kind of roll back in your head, as you're kind of seeing like bird's eye view of the area. You don't see any breaches in the ice. Everything looks completely frozen. It looks hard frozen. And even the area that you were before, everything looks frozen over, and you don't see any signs of life or anything. But you do see that area that you went to before where you found the fallen Atlantean frozen is still up there, and it is ruins that would be a defensible position. So the question is, you don't see anything around, so do you want to camp here or push through the night?
Gentlemen, from what I can see through my familiar, I recommend we push through the night. I can do a light spell if we need to, and we can make our way to a more defensible position on the ruins on the other side of that hill by the water.
So do you want to stop here where you fought, where you know you fought Sarnathians before, or do you want to push past this?
I want to push past.
Is everyone in the party in agreement? Brogan?
So basically, those ruins are right here where he fought before.
Right. But
So
you
it's
could either
stop
camp.
here
This
at
is
the
a good.
ruins.
You could camp here, or push through the night and camp out in the wild. The difference is, you
I'll
know
ask
that
him.
those
Good,
fishmen were near here before.
Yeah.
They're ruins? You said they are actual ruins?
Yes.
Actual ruins. And
From historic value, what is the civilization from which they derive?
It is believed that the city of Sarnath was ruined here. There was actually a city here that was ruined.
Interesting. There be possibly anything of historic value to us that we can investigate?
That's possible for you.
Then let us stay for the ruins, if you don't mind. I mean, again,
I
it's
can
something...
also tell you that I did find your Atlantean friend frozen on the near those ruins.
And yes, in fact, let us stay here so that way we might search. I absolutely wish to visit his body.
Okay. Brogan, are you in agreement?
Hey, it sounds good to me.
Vorpai speaks and goes, I know this area. It's a good place to camp. Many people camp here. It's safe. As safe as it can be.
Very well.
Whatever Vorpai says is good for me.
All right, with that, you pull everything and take the horses across the frozen lake slowly. It is a thick ice, and as everyone moves over across, you do find the ruins that Magus that you had discovered before, and I'll move over to that. So what we have here is these are the ruins. Let me just delete all of that. Forget that. All right. So what we have here is the ruins. This is the camp. And up here in this is the frozen remains of the Atlantean that you
Where was
found. It's right here is the frozen remains of this Atlantean. So everyone is getting their things out. Everyone's getting their camp together, and as predicted, the change from day to night happens almost instantaneously as the light just disappears, and all of a sudden now you're looking at a full night sky, extremely quick within moments. And with that, you see Vorpai immediately get down and start kicking up a torch and beginning to make a fire. And this is where she wants to make camp, which is also where the body is frozen there. She walks right by it, looks down at the body, and tends to try to light a campfire.
I'm going to move the body
Okay.
and treat it with more respect, and also examine it, see if there's anything on him that they might have.
He's wearing blue robes that is it's Atlantean silk. It's not something that it's newer. But as you're looking over it, this would not be something that would have been made in the Atlantis of old, but in a newer settlement, a land settlement.
Oh.
And I must apologize. My Archaeopteryx friend seems to have removed his eyes for a quick dessert.
It's as you're pulling the body, the head falls off, the Archaeopteryx is chopping at. I mean, it's frozen and decomposed. It's a mess.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Is the ground soft enough here that I can possibly bury him in any way, shape, or form? Or do
I
I
mean, this would be more like putting rocks over him kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll
Okay.
spend time doing that, and then quoting a dirge, a good Atlantean dirge, and talking about the fall of Atlantis, and even though Atlantis fell, instead of, from dust to dust, ashes to ashes, even though that Atlantis and civilization falls, clearly he's from New Atlantis, and so his spirit may be reborn again within the new cities.
Okay. As you do that, Hugo goes over and he's kind of like he's sitting next to you, and trying to. The old man is trying to give solemn respect, and as he does that, he kind of feels the silk. He goes, "Oh, it's very soft, very soft." And you notice that he's feeling around the body, is almost like making sure there's nothing of value on it before you bury him. But he's kind of feeling it's nice silk. Are we burying him in this silk, or?
No, we are not. But I'm preparing him for burial.
Oh, I see.
Again, I'm treating him with respect. Yeah, and with that, I'm going to take the Atlantean silk. And then, is there anything else that's on the body?
No, that was it. Outside of his clothing.
Problem. Yeah, I'm just going to take the clothing, but I just didn't want to do that in front of everybody.
Right.
And then I'll fold it up and then set that to the side. Is it magic?
No, it's just a nice blue silk.
Yeah, then I'll save that for later on, and maybe we can repurpose that.
Okay.
Do I see any markings of any reasons for his death? Do we see like
you didn't get a chance to look at that before, but as the head kind of rolled off, you look at it and you see there's these toothy gnaw marks on its neck, the bone neck. Probably one of the fishmen got him.
All right. Well, we should set up a watch, and at the same time, which direction did the fishmen come from? Direction.
Siku, look at
the right direction.
This dock.
All right.
All right. So we set up a watch. The campfire gets out. Siku pulls all the food out for the night. Pulls up provisions. The horses are pulled up. Everything is pulled up here, so it's safe. Wally in excitement gets out and feeds the horses and everything. And Wally comes over to Brogan and says, "Brogan, it's my first night out. Is there anything else that Apollo would have me do?"
I don't think so. Why don't you go ask our other knight friend if she has any lessons for you? Anything?
Vorpa, yes. She looks good with the blade. Do you have a blade I could borrow or maybe learn something from her?
Absolutely, friend. I'm going to hand him the falcata.
Oh, the magic falcata. You hand him. He goes,
Falcata plus 2?
A knight's blade. Thank you. I will learn with this and return it to you, or keep it for safekeeping.
Right. Sounds good.
Try
to get any information out of her that you can.
I will do my best. I'll keep my eye on her. And with that, he goes over and starts talking to Vorpai, and Vorpai is doffing off the armor and setting it off to the side, and whenever he goes, "Will you teach me the blade?" She's like, she's okay with it. So she pulls out her long sword and starts teaching him some basic footwork with the blade. He's very eager, and you notice that Vorpai is a pretty good teacher. Like, she's not the first time she's taught the blade before, as she's teaching Vorpai the introduction of swordplay.
I'm also going to pull out the blue vial and walk over to Magus and be like, "What do you make of this?
Oh, yeah.
Anything in your arcane arts?"
We identify that?
I'm all about drinking blue liquids all the time, but this one's in a vial. It's not nature.
I'm trained in drinking of liquids and determining what they are. And let me have the first sip, my friend, and I'll let you know if you should go further.
Using your magician's ability, you take the potion, you kind of look up, you hold it, you take a small drop, and it touches the tip of your hand. As it touches your finger begins to shrink in size for a few seconds, and as you shake it, it kind of grows back up. You recognize this as a potion of diminutiveness. It will cause you to shrink.
Oh, well, in that case, I definitely don't need it. So, you guys can have it. Well, you know what? I guess to be fair, I should take
time.
it. Yeah.
So who will take the potion of diminutiveness?
I say we give it to the young lad. Be exciting for him. And perhaps we can use him as a scout in a moment of need for smallness.
Well.
Okay, so Walian has a potion and a magic sword. Perfect.
Yes.
And he doesn't even know how to read. This is wonderful.
Send the boy in.
Perfect. All right. With that, so we've buried the guy. So we're going to kind of skip through watches. So basically, what I'm going to do from moving forward, I'm just going to say that Androcles is first, Brogan is second, Magus is third, and we're just going to keep that order. Okay. As we get it,
Order for what?
just for as
what?
we are traveling and camping. So,
Yes.
and we'll always, because we have enough people, we'll have multiple. You'll have a party member with you, so there'll always be 2 people on watch. So we're just going to kind of fast forward through some of this now. As the night, yeah. So Vorpai will be on third watch. We'll put the big blade with Magus. Walian will be with Brogan, and then Siku will be with Androcles, and Hugo will just kind of come and go.
We survived the night without lighting a fire. I am
No.
remembering.
Vorpai already did.
Oh boy.
So yes, there is a fire. We're cooking a meal, and as we do that, we look up, and Hyperborea gives you quite a sight in the night sky. Magus, as you look up, as you're eating your food and drinking your little bit of mead that's been packed, you look up into the sky and you see this magnificent display in the night sky of this green aurora that just kind of moves across the sky. And as you see that, you look up and you are a studier of astronomy and of the stars, and there's something that's particularly interesting to you because you are constantly interested in the meteorites and the rocks of other realms and other planets. And as you look up, you see this beautiful scene that is just cascading across.
This is what makes my travels worthwhile. Seeing things of this you just can't find in different parts of our world.
Now, tonight, as you're looking up, you do see something that's a bit of a rare sight. You see a blue-green star in the distance, and you know that to be Uranus, which is another realm, another planet. It's in the distance. It's rumored that there's legends that life has come, beings have come from this Uranus. In fact, there's actually, Androcles, you know the folklore that anytime that you see this type of display in Hyperborea, that the legend, the folklore is that beings from other worlds are traveling to the coast or traveling to Hyperborea. Whether or not that's true or not, but it's the folklore. It is a way that the people have described and the reasoning behind having this type of night sky. It's magnificent and it's serene in the fact that the moon serene is up, but Phobos is nowhere to be seen. Typical this time of year, but it also gives you a sense of calm because Phobos is such a bad omen.
May I ask our local guides if this night sky occurrence is normal?
For this season, it is, yes.
Do you notice any occurrences that are that are in season with this type of occurrence, or is it just part of the atmosphere living here?
This is part of the land, friend. We see different colors, blues, purples, violets, greens. I would say more rare, but quite a sight. And he's just sitting there eating like nothing to think of it.
And what about that star there? Have you seen it during this time of year? And then I pointed out to the star.
Star of Uranus. Yes,
Yes.
it is most auspicious.
Now,
The legend
Androcles knows
travel.
about it. Siku does not. Siku looks up and goes, I just thought it was a star like all the others.
Oh no, my friend, it is a planet. In fact, travelers from Uranus tend to journey when the sky looks often like it does tonight. So we may be in for special visitors. Perhaps at some point within these next few days, we should be on the lookout, so to speak. Actually, my friend, Siku, have you seen, and I'm going to describe one of those way stations that we saw before. You know, like if there's some kind of a description of some kind of a stone, I give a description of the way station that we found before. If there's anything that looks like that.
You give a description of it. He goes, the only structure near here is actually further out into the mountains. I saw it when I was younger on a hunt, but no one goes there. The legend of Marzan fills those mountains. But I believe that there was a structure similar to what you speak. It was a stone structure.
Yes. Could you point it out on the map for me? Right, and even like, actually, we have a map. So could we?
Yeah.
Could you point that out to me?
So you're going here.
Hmm?
This is where you're going, and that would be closer out to here. But it's in the mountains. It's several days' journey.
It's several days beyond that.
Yeah.
It'd be possible to journey there.
Could on a return trip. We didn't pack enough supplies for that, and you'll need climbing gear.
I see. That would definitely be worth our time. Logan, that would be worth our time. And Magus, you, my friend, you would be in for the discovery of a lifetime. Again, we found one of those way stations, and it took us, well, let's just say that it took us to someplace very, very special. Right, BG?
I guess this
Well,
is
I've
probably
seen-
like
If you speak of finding more star metal, then you can count me in.
is this
Dude,
like the next
and-
morning, basically?
Yeah, we're
Or
still
the
at
next,
camp.
like, after-
It's still night. You're gonna sleep, get up. It will still be dark, and you'll be traveling because it's.
Gotcha.
Yes. Okay. In that case, let's. We're going to plan for the return trip and to go to one of those way stations.
Okay. All right. With that, you finish your meals. We go through the night without an issue, and then we get up and move on to the next day. It's still dark, but you've gotten your rest. Is there now? If we're going to continue traveling, unless you tell me to stop. So, like Magus, I'm assuming.
I'd like to take a look around the ruins before we continue on. Can I use my light staff to? I'm going to use my spell of light
Okay.
to help light the area and spend an hour or two searching for any artifacts or remnants.
Okay.
we wanna
You do
do
find
search for
something interesting. I will say you and Androcles, because y'all are both interested in this, are searching. You pull out one of your smaller stones, and when you do that, this light just emanates off the stone. As you do, you're kind of using that as a torchlight, if you will, kind of looking about the ruins. And what you find very interesting. You find frozen bones that you didn't recognize before that are massive. They are very big. And as you uncover the bones, you pull them up and realize that it's an elephant, and you see part of an elephant tusk frozen here. Not mammoth size, but actual elephant. You did not realize they lived in this part of the world.
This is unheard of. Androcles, have you read of anything of this nature in this area?
I have not. Is there hair to go along with the frozen bones?
It's no
that we
hair.
find?
Actually, I'm going to say with your bardic knowledge, your folklore, you had heard that ages ago that the Sarnathians here had tamed and rode elephants.
Really? Fish people tamed.
No, the fish people is what they call Sarnathians. The people who lived here before, there was a city named Sarnath. They call them Sarnathians because they don't know what else to call them.
Shit.
It's like somewhere the lore got mixed up, but there used to be a city here named Sarnath. It was destroyed. The native Sarnathians, like the original, the OG Sarnathians, not the fish people.
Well, they tamed and rode elephants.
Right. But what you do stand is an old, it's an ivory tusk.
And yeah, let's claim it. We'll keep it.
Okay, so you pull this out of the, you brush off the snow and the rock and the debris, and it's mostly intact, but it's a good source of ivory you could use for crafting or something down the road.
Certainly. That would be great.
So you take your find back and you attach it to the back of the sled. You move on to the next day as everyone's traveling out. Before you go out, the young Walian runs up to Brogan and goes, I practiced with the blade and I learned a few things. Do you want me to keep it or do you want it back in your care?
Like what? You hold on to it right now, pal.
You sure about that,
Use
Brogan?
I'll keep it safe.
Sounds good.
happen besides that, right?
All right. With that, he takes the blade. He goes and sits back and gets in this back of the sled with Magus, and we begin day 2 of our journey. As you travel the next day, it's night still as you're traveling. We get further up, and then as this day goes, something else is very interesting happens as Vorpai spots something in the distance and comes up to Brogan and says, "Brogan, right?"
Yeah, what's going on?
She looks out into the distance, and she says, I see something very odd in the distance." She's pointing out, and in the distance, you see shadows moving across. This would be to your left, the east. You see shadows moving across the snowy banks. You see it pretty well, and you look at it, and with your keen eyes, you look, and it looks like there's 4, maybe 5 animals that seem to be lurking and kind of following you perpendicular. Hard to tell, maybe half a mile out.
Okay. I'll relay the information.
Okay, so you ride back and tell Androcles, Magus, and the rest that you see these animals off to the side that seem to be keeping a close eye on you.
Right.
Are they like biped, quadruped? What's it look like?
I'm going to send my Archaeopteryx out to get a closer look.
Okay.
Excellent idea. And that way, while you're riding in the sled, you can see if it's a threat to us, and we can keep riding.
So we're right here. You're following the river to your right. This would be in the little foothills to your left. At the end of today, as we should hopefully cross the river a second time today. As you look out in the distance with your Archaeopteryx flying around, you see unmistakably there are 6 wolves that seem to be following you. 4 look like regular sized wolves. 2 look extremely large. Full white maned wolves that are walking and sniffing and kind of tracking and following you, but keeping a distance. They are very intentionally keeping a safe distance, but also following.
Mm.
Hey,
And then at that point, as soon as I see them, I say, we've got 2 more wolves of the nature that we encountered at the bar.
They look different than that. They are actually running on all 4s. They don't look like they're hunched over. These look like just larger wolves.
6 wolves, 2 larger in nature, larger than I've ever seen, and
True.
4 that look like a pack. But they're definitely following us.
Well,
Does
I
seem
think-
odd. Does seem odd given our recent history with wolves.
wolves. So possible dire wolves or winter wolves. Either way, possibly scouting us for the other werewolves that lurk close by. So there's no reason why they wouldn't be in full wolf form. That's fine. We seek Wolfsbane. If they come after us, we'll deal with them then. But let us not go after them unnecessarily. Also, let's make sure that we keep our animals safe. Well,
Agreed.
Cephalus, after all, is beautiful and he's much too fine a beast.
What did you
End up
name
in the
your
belly of
horse?
some wolf. Eucephalus.
Cephalus.
Eucephalus. B-U-C-E.
Eucephalus. Okay. Woo.
Okay.
Eucephalus. Named after the ancient great steed of one of the greatest Atlantean
Eucephalus.
conquerors of old.
Of
Eucephalus.
Daytona Beach, 1997.
Eucephalus.
Not Josephus. Eucephalus. Do you guys not realize the historic context of this great,
All I heard
magnificent
was
animal?
syphilis. I'm not gonna lie.
That's not syphilis. That is something that Dracon found after dealing with Oomba. I said Eucephalus.
All right.
All right.
Let's reel it back
All
in,
right.
folks. Reel it
All
back
right. Hey, you ride whatever you want to ride, brother.
Hey, that's exactly what we said to Dracon.
Oh, God. Okay. All right. Whew. Oh, God.
I'm
Eucephalus.
gonna ask I'm going to ask Vorpai, what do you think? Just keep an eye on him while we're riding?
I'm going to point out to Magus that he should be ashamed of himself because this is part of his culture and history and heritage that he should know. And I'm going to go ahead and describe the history of Bucephalus, the great, magnificent steed ridden by Alexander the Great. In fact, Bucephalus was so mighty a steed that tales, legends were created based on his greatness, and even cities that exist to this very day based on Bucephalus. There's Bucephalopolis.
Okay. All right.
Damn it, Magus. Look what you did.
A lot of
Next
this
time,
is
just
my
make-
fault because I misheard him. So we'll blame the DM for this. Okay. So reeling things back in. All right. So at this point,
Bucephalus.
Bucephalus. All right. So with that, Brogan, you go and talk to Vorpai. Vorpai has been watching them, and she has an alternative view. She looks and goes, well, we can jump them, or we can wait until they jump us. But they are looking to hunt us.
I agree.
I tend to agree that they are definitely keeping tabs on us.
We are faster than they are on our steeds. You and I could run them down.
You had me at run them down. Let's do this. Hey, boy, bring me my lance.
And with that, Wilding goes, oh yes, of course. And he goes and he grabs the lance and he goes and brings you this giant 12-foot pole as he's like reaching it up and handing it up to you. So now Vorpai has got it attached to her horse. She just picks up the lance and she says, if we are quick and speed of horse, we could run them down. I think we do a run. At the very least, we wean them down, and then we come back. And then if they chase us, our friends here, we'll finish them up. Are you with me?
I'll race you there. Whoever spears the first one wins.
Ah, good. And with that, she looks over at Androcles and goes, watch our back. If they are chasing us, you will cover us.
Well,
you ready?
You wish to join us?
All right, so this will be just Vorpai and Brogan. We're going to do Theater of the Mind as the two of them are going to run up and try to run down some of these wolves. As the two of you thunder across the plains, get closer to the hills, the wolves, at first, they start running towards you until one of the big ones snarls back, and you see these two, there's basically 4 smaller gray wolves and 2 giant white wolves. Now, Brogan, are you going to be targeting running down a smaller one or one of the bigger ones?
Oh, a big one.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you're going after the big one. Vorpai looks to you, sees that you're targeting the big one, and she's going to go for the other big one. They're going to try to get both of them down. Okay. So with that, the two of you are charging on your horses. And with that, we're going to enter a quick combat between you and the wolves are facing off. Now, with that, let's roll initiative. So, Brogan, you roll for you, and Vorpai, I'll roll for the wolves. I'm going on a 2. Going on a 1. All right. So with that, the wolves are trying to evade. As you're barreling towards them, the 2 bigger ones kind of like they're like snarling commands at the wolves. They seem to be like in formation. The 4 wolves move and try to intercept you, while the 2 bigger wolves that you were charging after, they sprint off to the side. Both of those wolves are kind of moving off to the side as you're kind of charging. Before you get to them, now normally we would have a first strike here because you have a 12-foot lance. The 2 larger white wolves, as you get closer, they move as you're about to clash, and both of them reach back and draw in this howl. And as they howl out, all of this snow and ice comes out of their mouth as they are breathing frost at the 2 of you as you're charging in. And with that, we need battle music. All right. So what's the death odds here, guys? All right. Okay. So, Brogan, make an avoidance save.
It's a D what?
It's a D20.
A D6?
But it's a D20, but you get your bonus for being a paladin, which is +2. And then a 12,
14.
and you're level 4. So you would need a 15 is the save you need, and you only got a 14. Is that correct?
My saving throw modifier say +2 unless it's gone up.
That's
since
it. So it's
level
+2.
1.
So you're at a 14, and you needed a 15. So you take the full brunt of that directly on you for 4d6 frost damage.
Hurt.
Ish bosh.
So take 13 points of frost damage. And now I'll roll for Vorpai, who evades out of the way and raising her shield, she blocks part of the blast off. She will take half damage. Half of 16, she'll take 8. The ice shards cut across as she blocks it off. Some of the ice cuts into her face as you see blood coming off of her face. And with that, now, Brogan, you can now try to drive the lance into the wolf. So make your attack.
All right.
Okay, so your attack is you rolled a 10.
Yeah. Are they evil?
No. Oh, no, they
just
are.
Nice.
They are evil. I
Okay, was
apologize.
about to say.
They are evil. Yeah, I apologize. All right, so
All right,
let's
let
see
me do
if you hit it. So you did a 10. What's your strength bonus?
For attack mod is +1.
And then you get another.
Ability.
Your fighting ability is a 4, so that's really an 11. So let me go to my chart here. Your fighting ability is 4 and 11. You hit. So now roll 2d10 for the lance as you're charging on a heavy horse, and then add your strength mod plus your righteous charge, which should be +6. So it's going to be 2d10 plus 6.
All right.
I got a question. You said the fighting ability is a 4, so that makes it an 11 and not a 15?
So here's it's a 15, but what I do is I look, his roll was an 11. And then his fighting ability, there's basically this matrix. So I look at his roll was an 11, and his fighting ability moves this number down. So he hits an AC of 5. So 4 and 1
all I know is that I just shish kebabbed one of these things for 23
17
damage.
points of damage. Oh, plus your strength modifier.
How much is it total?
23.
23 points of damage.
Wow.
You do skewer the wolf. You run your staff, your lance through it. It's thick. You break across. There's blood coming across. It runs across. It has one leg pulled up. It's still up.
What?
Question: is this a charge? Don't you do like? Oh, that's because of the double.
Yeah, that was with all the bonuses.
That was it. Yeah. All right. Now, Vorpai is also going to make her charge attack as well at the other wolf, and she misses.
I'm gonna look over at her and go, mediocre.
She's still dealing with the fact that she's got ice like cutting off of her face, and now she's basically now avoiding and kind of rolling out of the way as she missed her attack. Now you're riding as well. As you run by, one of the wolves comes up beside you and is going to take a leaping grab and try to bite you. It'll miss you. It leaps up. You have armor plating on your leg. It blocks off of your leg. At this point, the speed of the horse are leaving the wolves. They are giving chase. But what you have learned is that you know what you're dealing with now. That those wolves are more than what you thought. As now you two kind of like start moving back. The wolves are giving chase, and as they give chase, you've got a huge distance that you can make up with the horses. You're going to leave them, but they are now in the hunt. So now all of those wolves are chasing into the camp. Now, Androcles, you're watching this. You're the only other one on a horse. Siku has pulled out his spear, and is kind of like setting a charge in front of the horse to protect the horse. You see Hugo standing up on the top. He's got a sling, and he's like rolling a rock around at the top of the sling, and Wallian has pulled the blade.
All right.
And with that, we now move into the next round of. There'll basically be one full round of them traveling. Is there anything that Androcles or Magus wants to do in the one round of them traveling?
How far away are we?
What's the range you're looking for? It's probably 80 feet.
Okay, so more than 30 feet.
Yeah, this would be more of a setup. Like if there's something that you wanted to start doing or get something ready or cast a buff or something, like you basically got a round of them traveling.
You could MacGyver something like a nuclear.
Is there anything
bomb
that you want to do, Androcles?
Yes, I'm going to cast Hypnotic Pattern on the wolves.
What's the range on that?
I'm going to tell you right now as soon as I can pull it up. Here we go. Let's see. When they get within 90 feet.
Okay. All right, so as you can do that this round.
30
Okay.
foot, a 30-foot diameter circle, so however many that are close
Okay.
enough.
All right, well, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to roll saves for the wolves. This will be for the 4 regular wolves.
Okay, it's up to 24 hit dice. How many hit dice do they have?
They still get a save.
Yeah, they totally do. I'm going to save.
2 of them made the save. So 2 of them are mesmerized. Or is that what it is, a mez? Stun?
Yep, so they're not going to be in the attack.
All right, so 2 of them stop immediately as they're mesmerized by the lights. 2 of them run past. And with that, Magus, is there anything that you want to do on this round?
I am going to have my burning hands ready.
Okay, so you just got a stone ready. Okay, so you pull a stone and you're kind of waiting for the charge. All right, with that, we're now going to roll to the second round of combat. We'll have Androcles roll for initiative.
Okay. We're doing that D6, huh?
Yeah, I rolled a 2.
Come on.
Wolves on
Yes!
2. Heroes on 5. All right.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead. Let's announce what we're going to do. This is kind of the way it's supposed to go here. So Androcles, what are you wanting to do? And everyone, and then we'll kind of decide who goes where.
Sure. I'm still gesticulating because I want to keep those other 2 wolves out of the battle. And I'm going to say, Magus, can you deal with these 2 right here? And
Indeed I can. And at that point, I turn myself invisible.
Okay. All right, so that'll be your turn, is to go invisible.
you hide? No, that's fine.
Okay, so on this turn, so Magus, you're going to cast invisibility. What is Androcles going to do?
I am going to go with.
You have to keep mesmerizing. Is that how it works, or?
Well, it persists as long as I continue to gesticulate, plus 1d4 rounds thereafter. So let me go ahead and. No, I'm going to wait. I'm going to try to keep them out at least this round. But there's 2 other horse. There's
Oh,
2
so you're
other
going to keep
wolves.
it up for this round.
Can I lead the wolves after me?
Right now, you're on a horse and you're kind of sitting back. The horse is right. You're on a horse. The wolves are chasing the other 2 riders.
Okay, yeah, as
We're
long as they're
chasing
chasing
after them.
Vorpai and as long as they don't come in between, as long as they don't come after the
They're not.
sled
Right
horse.
now, they're not.
Okay. In that case, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm taking out these 2 for now.
All right, so for this round, you're going to do that.
I know what I can do. I'm going to inspirit my allies.
That you
So-
can do. You can go ahead and start your chant. Okay. So as
will do
you're
that.
concentrating on that, you start inspiring your allies. It'll take another turn for that to come into play. We're going to go ahead and the invisibility is going to happen, but first let's find out what Brogan's going to do.
Are they close enough to the rest of the party? Like they're going to be here very soon? Or
Yeah, you're running into the party, and they're right behind
Okay.
you. So
I'm
you
going to
couldn't.
wheel around and spear again.
All right, so if you wanted it, it'll take you a round to set that up, but you can basically
Okay.
double time the horse to kind of like basically set up another charge.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, so you ride off to the side to try to set up a second charge. Vorpai catches what you're doing and kind of goes off in the other direction. So both of you kind of do this to kind of get another charging attack. As soon as you 2 do that, Hugo looks and sees that 2 of those wolves are coming. He lets loose one of his stones, He misses. And then the Siku is setting a charge for one of the wolves that's coming now at him and the horse. And then Wallian steps back behind and hides behind the sled. I believe that's everybody. And now we go to the wolves. The two winter wolves, one of them is going to charge and go after Siku. As he does that, Siku...
Whoa. You said that the winter wolves were going after Brogan.
They are, and they went this way. All this is happening at the same time. So they're going this way, and now the wolves are coming in. Now, as the winter wolf turns to go towards Siku, Siku has got his spear out to set to receive charge, so he will get to attack first. He misses. So now the winter wolf will go after Siku. He rolls a 19. That's going to hit. So he reaches up and bites down on Siku, who Siku will take 4 points of damage. He's basically got him by the arm, and there's blood coming out of his arm. The other winter wolf is chasing Vorpai. And now you've got two more wolves moving in, one of which is chasing Brogan. The other one is going to go after and start running after Magus. Now there's a distance there, so Magus, you look up. You've cast Invisible. You're off to the side, and the wolf saw you and stops as you cast Invisible, and he's kind of like looking around where you. But he's extremely close to the cart, and is sniffing around, and he loses you, but he picks up the scent of Walian. And now we will catch up the next round. So now we're in round 3. So everyone, now this time let's have Magus roll initiative.
Right.
All right.
Wolves on 4.
I guess. What are we doing?
Nope, D6.
Oh, sorry.
I know. It's just
Nice
habit.
try.
Ooh, also a 4. All right, so it's a tie. So we have to look at what everyone's in dexterity is. And with that, I need what's everyone's dex real quick.
Well, I'm 9.
15.
What's Androcles?
15.
Okay, you go first.
Right. If that winter wolf is near Siku and the cart, I'm throwing my glaive at it.
Okay.
And I'm still... actually, I'm not going to be able to gesticulate anymore, so let me first see how many rounds.
The other two
the
wolves are
wolves
out. Okay. All right, so those wolves are out.
Right.
Was it's 1d4 plus 1 round?
3.
Or just 3?
No, it's not before. It's after this round, so it'll be after this
rounds.
round,
Okay.
three more rounds.
Got it. Okay.
Then, so yeah, I'm going to roll to hit it twice with the glaive. So 1d20, and it's 2, and then my fighting ability is a 3, so it's going to be plus 5, right?
Mm-hmm. On a winter
Miss
wolf,
for the first.
that's a miss. Yeah.
That's the one that's by Siku, right?
Correct. So it pulls back to your hand. You can throw it again. Now, if you do that, you can't move. That's the only thing with that. So you can throw it twice, but yeah.
And then... that
What's your
one
fighting
is-
ability?
It's a 3, and then the dagger is a plus 2, so it's a 5, and then so my fighting ability is a 3. Then I don't have the penalty anymore. It says my second attack is never mind.
No. That's dual wield. Yeah, that's enough.
Has
to
his
hit it.
song gone off yet?
No. So roll your d4. Ooh.
Ow!
All right. So this is the one that was already hurt. And with that, the blade skims across. It cuts it across its neck, and it falls to the ground. It's bleeding out.
Yes,
That's the one. That was the one that was already skewered by Brogan.
absolutely.
All right. Now we move to who's next in Dex? Brogan, what's yours?
I have 12.
12.
So you're next. I'm 9.
All right. So it's Brogan, then the wolves.
Okay. I see that one go down, right?
Yeah.
And has Bob's song gone off yet?
No, it'll be next round.
I'm going to charge at the other big one then.
Okay. It was chasing after Vorpai. You immediately cut over and see it. You can run it down and set up another attack.
Right.
That's going to connect. Roll your 2d10 plus 6 damage. 10 and...
Oh, it didn't roll 2. All right.
6. So 16 plus 6. Is that right?
Yeah, 22.
All right, so you stab it in the back, you impale it as it kind of roars back. It's like, the wolf is howling as you stab into it. You pull it back. Vorpai sees what you're doing. She instinctively drops the lance, and lightning fast, she pulls out her longsword and swings down at the wolf. And she misses.
Mediocre.
With that, you've got Hugo is going to let loose another stone. He misses. And there's 2 wolves now that one of them is sniffing around looking for Wallian. Wallian comes up behind the wolf and takes a slice with the blade and misses. And with that, it's Siku's turn. Siku runs over, sees what Wallian has done, takes the spear, and tries to like body block the child out of the way, and tries to do a running spear charge at the wolf.
Yes.
He will connect.
Finally.
He downs the wolf.
All
All
right.
right, so there's 1 winter wolf still left, and there's 1 regular wolf still left.
And 2.
And there's
Looking
2
at
that are
regular wolf
stunned
that are
off to the
phased.
side.
Yeah, they're
Right.
stunned. Yeah.
Magus, it's your turn.
The one that's closest to the boy.
Yeah. Well, that one's
Yeah.
dead, but there's a second one right behind him.
All right, I'm going to. I have a curved thrown dagger
Okay.
that I'm going to throw at it.
So you're invisible. You'll become visible when you do that.
Yeah, I'm worried about the boy, so at this point, I'm.
Do you want to cast a spell or throw the dagger?
Throw the dagger.
All right. You're invisible, so you're going to get bonuses on this. Just make a d20 roll. You
Nice.
connect. Roll your d4.
Right, Magus.
Actually, I think it's a D6.
A dagger's a d4.
This one is a hooked throwing knife. It's a 1d6.
Oh,
At
it
level
is. It is. All right, roll a d6.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, Magus.
The wizard just killed a wolf.
You rear back, you throw your hook throwing dagger, it hits the wolf, you're invisible, it hits it right in the face, and you fell the wolf from being invisible.
And then I become invisible.
You,
And then I become visible.
and then you're visible. Yeah, so you just blink out and kill the other one. Now, there's still the winter wolf that's being tackled by both Brogan and it's going to turn and take another bite at Brogan. And it misses.
Apollo laughs at your 4 wins.
Okay.
Hey, did the other one-eyed guy go?
Huh?
Go.
Yeah, he's been throwing
The other
stones
one-
and missing. He can't.
God, that
he
was
can't
him, okay.
see.
He should have the aim down pat. Okay, he doesn't need to. Right?
He doesn't have the depth perception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Initiative.
What's it?
Yeah, it's initiative. So Brogan, you roll this time. It's just the only one left. There's 2 that are stunned in the back, and then there's the winter wolf in front of you. It rolled a 1, so Brogan, you're up first to make your attack.
It's right next to me, right?
Yeah, you can drop the lance and morning star it.
Yeah, I'm gonna morning star it.
Okay. You connect. Roll your d8 plus strength and magic. So
I think
plus
it's
3.
a D8 plus 4, I think.
Yeah. Strength. Plus 2 for strength. Plus 1 for mastery, and then plus 1 because it's magical. So it's going to be enough because of the charge. You fell the winter wolf.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, with that, there's 2 other wolves that are left. For the sake of time, we'll just say that you quickly fell the other two. Siku goes and charges one. Wallian goes up behind him and sees the one that is stunned and fells the stunned wolf. Wallian gets his first kill off of the wolf that was stunned by Androcles. And with that, we go back to the map. So we had our encounter with the wolves. You have felled 6 of these. 2 of these are the winter wolves that seem very, very nasty. You look over and you've got a few injured party members.
Just FYI, Raftantis is eating
one of the wolves, right? Eating one of the wolves. Siku goes over and starts cutting up one of the smaller wolves for meat. And you look over at,
You get the pelt of the winter wolves?
That would take some time. If you want to drag them and work on it tonight at camp, we could do that. But he's just trying to get some quick meat.
Throw them on the sleigh.
Yeah. Well, this it's a lot of weight. I don't want to get encumbered with these things are huge.
Who's hurt?
So Siku took a little bit of damage. He's hurt. You've got Vorpai took a pretty nasty blast, and then Brogan also took some damage.
All right, I'll heal Vorpai because that's what paladins do. They always put themselves. At least in the book, you're supposed to put yourself
Right.
last.
So you go over now. Explain this as you go to Vorpai. She's got like these cuts across her face.
I'll just go over and be like, by the light of Apollo, be healed.
And as you do that, she how much are you healing her for?
However, it's the most. It's 8 HP.
8. Okay. Well, she had taken 8, so that was you completely heal her. So you heal her of her wounds. She goes, "Oh, that is amazing. How did you do that?"
Well, kind of like the same way I actually hit with my lance. It's through the light of Apollo. You should think about it.
Well,
I'm saying.
she looks embarrassed and goes, "Well, that blast hit my eye, and I was unable to line up my attack." But I think.
Oh, I know. I got icicles stuck all in me.
Yeah, you're still. Will not be outdone.
Lethal weapon comparison. See the scar?
Preacher, choir. Okay.
All right. Now, Androcles, you're over there taking a look at Siku, who's got a pretty bad gash on his arm. Hugo walks up to him and he goes, and he starts chanting something as he goes and he puts his hand on Siku and he heals Siku. You see the wounds close up.
Oh, Hugo, your skills are most appreciated on this journey.
Oh, well.
Healer.
Well, I only have the power that my master Sathakwa gives me.
Sathakwa. I see. Good, at least you're not a Cthulhu cultist.
And he spits. No. The traveler, the great Sathakwa is who I serve.
Very well. Again, your presence is most appreciated on this journey. Siku, that was courageous of you. We'll sing of your great legendary courage this evening at the campfire. I'm going to do what I can to lighten up the mood with everybody, and the wolves and that kind of thing, and keep everybody pumped up, especially since just now when they took out the wolves, that's when they got that bonus of +1 to hit.
Right. So now everyone's like, right. So
everyone's feeling good, right?
Also, Vorpai goes over and congratulates little Walian on his first sword play, and while he missed his first strike, the stationary target he was able to land, and the magical falcata has tasted blood. So she goes over and she sees the wolf and she takes Walian over and he goes, if your first kill, you must drink of its blood. And he stops and he looks to Brogan for permission, or is this acceptable to Apollo and to you?
Apollo don't have no policies about drinking blood, but vampires do the same thing, and I'm not so sure I'm comfy with this one.
And he goes, he cleans the blade on the pelt of the wolf, and he puts the blade up, and he goes, Vorpai, I thank you, but my master would rather me not.
Well, with all due respect, Brogan, it is a cultural thing among hunters and many commanders.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like, explain this to me, because this just looks like savagery.
Vorpal goes, oh, it's just customary if it's your first kill on a hunt. And Siku looks up and goes, it is customary.
And I look to
Right,
Magus and I say, and you as well, sir. And I point to that hunting knife.
That's not his first kill. That's not his first rodeo.
I drink weird stuff all the time. Who am I to judge? Go ahead, boy.
He goes, oh, thank you. And he reaches down and he dips the blade into the wolf, and he comes up and he takes a little lick of the blood off his blade, and he puts it back down. And he kind of cleans it. He goes, thank you. And he puts the blade to the side. And Vorpal kind of gives him a big slap on the back.
Alien, what did it taste like?
Salty.
All right, figured. Never licked blood before. Just wanted to ask.
I love it. I'm helping cut up some of the meat.
Okay, you take a break in the night to do that. You do hear the calls and the howling of distant wolves, and Siku looks over and goes, we must make our way if there's more of this pack.
Certainly.
And with that, everyone gets back on their horses and mount and kicks off. And you do take some meat with you, but you leave the bodies and the pelts behind. It takes too much time to do that, but with any luck, they may be here on your return trip.
Point.
True.
It is in the second part of this day of this travel that we cross the river again. Again, it's frozen. At the other side of this, you make camp again. For the sake of time, we'll kind of push through this as you can see the snow caps, mountains in the distance. We will have a camp at this time. We'll pull together. Everyone camps for the night. Is there anything that anyone wants to do for this night? We should be able to reach the snow pass the next day.
This was the same day we fought, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to look around for any type of ingredients, plants, etc., in the area that might be useful later for spells.
Okay. You look about the area. You don't see anything, but Siku goes over and picks up some of these frozen berries. And he pulls up and he looks at it. He goes, "These are good for drinking, my friend." And he pulls up and he goes, "Juniper berries, and they're larger, like red berries." He pulls these up and he hands.
Let's
them
grab a few of those. I've got a cooking pot in my.
Okay, so he pulls you four juniper berries together. And he looks at you and he goes, "You know, I've heard tale that if you mix these up and give these to a lady, she'll fancy you."
We should give them to the boy.
Oh,
No, the boy.
oh, to the boy to give to Vorpal.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
He's a little bit young. But when he's older, yes.
Yeah.
Now, as it comes to end of day, Hugo reaches over and he looks over at you, Brogan. He goes, "What is that small pig you carry behind in your pouch?"
Oh, BG. Yeah, this is my dog.
That's a dog.
Yeah.
Oh, strange looking.
He's great.
And
He's great.
he reaches out this medallion that he has, and it has this sloth pig head on it of Sithaqua. He goes, "You kind of saw a similarity between your dog and Sithaqua."
Yes.
Do I see the similarity as well? Does
You
it
do.
look apparent?
It does.
Like, well, in that case, this is actually an otherworldly being we got off the moon of Cycronish, if you really want to know the particulars.
He looks
I
and he
could
goes,
regale you a tale.
I would like that, my friend. And he reaches over and he goes, "By the power of Sithaqua, heal your wounds too." He reaches over and he touches you, and some of the wounds that you got begin to heal.
Oh, good God. I don't... What...
Cleric
I'm not
of
sure
Sagwa.
if old Apollo's going to love that or not.
You heal
thanks.
for 6.
6.
Wow.
Look, I would love to tell you this tale, but as it turns out, there's somebody here that was there that is a tale teller. Why don't you go ask My man, Captain Androcles over there.
Captain. And Hugo goes over to Captain Andrew. He says, Captain, your friend Brogan told me a most strange thing, that you traveled to another land. It's like to Cronish, is that true?
Correct, to the land of Sithaqua. And in fact, I've been spending the whole day planning how I was going to tell them the tale for this very evening. And this is what I'm going to do, is spend the evening spinning that tale, because I want to mesmerize everybody and get them excited, because I want them to come back with us when we go back to that way station. I want him as excited as we are, so that way he's going to journey with us.
Okay.
So we'll have him and Siku and even Vorpai. So if I can mesmerize...
Right. You're just really selling it. You're just really selling it.
And I've collected a bunch of those juniper berries while he's telling the tale and put them into my cooking pot, and I've kind of made a hot drink for everyone in the party as he tells the tale.
Perfect.
Mold juniper.
Yes, mulled juniper berries. Yum.
Okay. All right.
Wait, before this gets all stupid, I'm gonna go get 2 drinks. I'm gonna walk over to Vorpai and be like, look, I just want you to know, supposedly, whoever gives this to you, you're supposed to fall in love with. I don't know if that's all true, but here you go. It's up to you.
All right. Well, she takes it. She sniffs. She goes, not enough alcohol in it for me, I'm afraid.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna pour it out real fast then and be like, sorry guys, I dropped the other one. Because we're about to see some shenanigans.
All right. With that, the night passes without much incident. It is cold. The wind is kicking over. You wake up, and then it's still night when you wake up. We're still waiting for the third day to appear. A giant snowstorm is moving in. You'll still be able to travel. Visibility will be rough as the snow is kicking across. The wind is bitter, and everyone's kind of like buried under as you're still like pushing through. As you're getting closer to the snow caps, you're getting closer to the snow pass. But now, as you push through, visibility is getting harder and harder. Walian is kind of tucked in and kind of sitting a little bit closer to Magus for heat and just for warmth, as they're all kind of bundled under the supplies. As that wind cutting across is very hard. The horses don't seem to have a problem with it, but as you get closer to the pass itself, the 2 horses up front, both Brogan and Vorpai's horses, begin to neigh and kind of kick their snouts back and forth as they are reluctant to move into the pass.
All right, something's spooking the horses.
There's
Why don't we
something
get
up
the Archaeopteryx and my flying bard friend? Maybe they can take a gander from up above.
Magus?
We could do that.
Yep. Raftansis, wake up. And he's all snuggled up.
He's snuggled up, and he's used to more temperate weather. He tries to fly in the snow and the sleet. He doesn't like it, but he does follow his lead and he flies about. Using your vision, you see as you move up to the rocks, you do see several strange plants up into the pass, something that might look familiar or what you're looking for. You also see what looks to be a fairly large statue cleft into it's cut into the side of one of the mountains, like the ridge as you're moving up. And you also see a very large crater or hole right across from that statue. So there's a pass moving up. There's a statue that you see, and you see it pretty intricately carved. Looks like possibly a king or something, or a great warrior standing. And then across from that is a cave, or it looks like a crater.
So it might cast a fireball or something like that, or it drops a boulder.
This is what the familiar sees.
All right. So as Raftantis, as I see this, I tell them the crew what I've seen, and I give them a sense about how far it is from us.
Yeah, you're probably a football field away. It's 100 yards up. So you've got time to talk and think about it.
In that case, how about if we walk ahead on foot and we go and investigate? And if it's a cave, we will journey inside. And if it's part of the guardian from the statue, perhaps, that we figure out a way to get past it.
Read
That
a
way-
book once called The Never Ending Story. All right. These things don't sound all that great. Maybe that invisibility and that shrinking potion might come in handy here.
That is a possibility.
On
You
this
could
day,
possibly
now,
fly.
Siku looks up and goes, "You want to leave the horses behind and all of us travel up together?"
I'm afraid they might not survive this weather.
But if we leave Siku and Walian back here to take care of the horses, we all journey up. Hugo, and then the four of us go up.
You can do that.
And then I begin just walking up. I'm ready for this. Let's go.
So what you're thinking is the three of you plus Vorpai are going to head up.
Yes.
And then leave the other
CQ.
three behind. Leave CQ, Hugo, and Walian behind.
Yes, to watch the horses.
To watch the
and-
horses.
and-
Okay.
What do they think about that?
Siku is
Insane.
fine with it. He goes, "Yeah, if you want to go scout ahead, and then we'll prepare. I believe that Wolfsbane should be up there. We'll get the shovels ready."
Certainly. Sounds good. Then we'll scout ahead.
All right, so the four of you head up. As you do, you begin looking about. You do see up on your right, you do see a statue that has some engravings in it as well. Androcles, this note, you notice that, and immediately it perks your interest because it's lore. So you look over and you see that. Across, you do see what looks to be a cave, but there is it is strange. There seems to be around, like across from the statue, there is like. The rock is different. It seems to be like it's burned, and the ground itself is actually warm through your boots as you get close to that cave.
Describe that to everybody else, and then also, what is the stat?
So I guess the question is, the four of you are standing here. Do you want to go investigate the hole, or do you want to go investigate the statue? Or are we going to split the party, and some people do get both?
Let's go investigate the statue first.
Brogan, Magus, are you okay with that?
I am.
Okay, so the four of you, you look at the cave, but and you go over and you look at the statue. Now, what you see of the statue is a large. It's probably 12 feet tall. It's cut into the side of the rock, and as you look at, there's an inscription in it, and the name of this individual inscribed in it is King Nargis High. Nargis High, and under it, it states the last king of Sarnath.
Dang. Is there anything else with regards to the statue? That's all it says?
That's all it says.
Okay.
King Nargis High, the last
looking?
king of Sarnath.
I want to kind of just search behind it, around it, etc., to see if there's anything that seems out of place or
causes a fireball to fly from its face.
From its eyes, yeah.
You don't see any mechanisms as you're looking about. You do see what looks to be somebody scratched another inscription into the side of it that wasn't part of the original, and it is just one word, Bokrug. Bokrug. Bokrug.
share this with my friend Androcles and ask if it rings a bell to him.
Androcles, you know this story. Your folklore story, you remember there's several theories about what happened to Sarnath, one of which is that it was destroyed by some water lizard named Bokrug.
Really?
Interesting.
Right. I tell them this.
Well, that plays.
Last
I
king of
fought
Sarnath
some
because-
lizards.
Yes. His city was destroyed by a great water lizard by the name of Bokrug.
Well, that definitely plays. They're still alive, and looks like the original inhabitants are not.
Yes. Well, let us go and investigate this cave.
I'm gonna keep looking at the statue a little bit. Why don't y'all go over there and check that
Understandable.
cave out?
Yes. We'll head over
Cast
and
invisibility and go into the cave.
So you
Ahead.
cast invisibility on yourself, and Androcles, you see him fade, and all you see is his little boot prints walking up closer to the cave. Vorpai is staying close to you, Androcles, since you paid her. So she's standing next to you and kind of peering into the cave, and she goes, There's an unnatural heat coming off of the ground. And she looks over, and Androcles, you spot it too. You notice that the sides of the rock of this cave, it looks like it's burned or singed, or melted even.
Okay, so whatever the heat was came from from inside the cave.
No.
It came from the statue towards the cave?
It doesn't, you can't tell the point of origin, but it definitely looks like it came maybe down.
I go check up above the cave.
I mean, you look up and it's mountains and sky. I mean, it is a hole in the ground. It's not a hole in the side of the mountain. It is a hole in the ground.
Right. And this warm. All right. Let's check for traps, and then let's go check inside the cave.
You look about as you're kind of looking around to see if you see anything made, like mechanisms or anything. As that happened, Brogan, you're behind and you're looking at the statue. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna detect evil.
Okay.
Vibe.
You grab your emblem as you look at the statue, and you sense evil, and you don't sense anything in front of you, but you have this overwhelming sense of dread coming from behind you as you turn and you look at the cave and you see your friends peering into the cave. You sense a great evil emanating from that cave.
Hey, look, guys. Something ain't kosher with that cave. It is extremely bad vibes coming out of there. Apollo don't like what's in there.
Then let's go kill it.
This one's worse than it's ever been.
Really?
Feeling.
Is it worse than the island?
Yes.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe we should go get another one of the boys. And by one of the boys, I mean the one that's still uses Bronze Age weapons like slings. Maybe he can be our scout.
We might need him for if we fall in battle. Let us go and investigate stealthily then. I will go ahead and raise up just a few feet off just a few inches off the ground.
So you're going to activate your boots?
I am going to activate
so
my boots.
You click your heels together twice, and these little spectral wings come off the side of your boots as you activate flight. You now can fly for 4 hours.
Yes.
Nice.
Is it continuous, or I don't think it's continuous?
It is a continuous 4 hours.
It is continuous.
Yes.
Okay. Then in that case, let's go check inside. I'm going to go check inside. I'm going to go stealth. So
well, you're hovering down, like with your boots. So you're just kind of like, there's a little flapping of the wings as you kind of hover down. You look inside the cave entrance, and there seems to be, you hear water running in the cave as you come down. You look around, and you do see what looks to be water cascading from another cavern inside here into a small pool in the bottom. What you also see is you see a lot of very strange looking flora and fauna just like growing all about, different colors illuminating different plants and everything coming around it. You see different colors. You see like blues and greens and even pinks and violets of different plants and everything kind of growing in here. It looks almost alien landscape as you're looking about.
Interesting. All right. Absolutely fascinating. The fact is, could this possibly be some kind of alien landscape from that other planet?
It doesn't look like it's Cycronish, no. You've only seen part of Cycronish, but that looked more desolate, deserty. This looks very interesting. As you're kind of looking about, Magus, what are you doing?
I'm
going to speak to Magus about this. Do you think it could be from Oranos? Do you know of the planets?
You do. No one knows what Uranus looks like.
There's absolutely a chance we would be the first to lay eyes on it, or at least report of it.
Fascinating.
As you do that, Androcles, you hear the rocks kind of moving as you look to the side, and you see that Vorpai is trying to scale the side of the rocks and move into the cave with you.
Okay.
Brogan, what are you doing?
I see them all go in, and I'm like, yeah, all All right, guess we're doing this. Let's go.
Okay, so
I'll-
you climb down as well. I will need a test of strength from you and Vorpai as you two are climbing in. Androcles, you're totally fine just to fly down. Magus, you're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna get down. You can attempt to climb.
So it's just a
Great.
hole.
It's just a hole, but it's like you have to climb down into it.
What do
Okay.
I roll? 20?
You roll a d6.
6. That was close.
Vorpai climbs down just fine. You slip on a rock and tumble into the cave itself. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall down and make a pretty loud ruckus as you land in the cave.
I'm still invisible, but I'm going to try to climb down. What do I roll?
A d6. What's your strength?
My strength is...
I don't think it's high enough. I think you're going to fall too.
Okay, my strength is... Oh, no, that was not me.
I
Yeah,
do
let me say
anything?
that.
I do anything to help them? Like if I
No,
put out,
no,
like,
no.
okay.
They start. You're hovering, investigating. They slide down. You take 2 points of damage from sliding down. You land next to Brogan. You don't hit as hard as he does, but you do slide on the rocks as well. One thing you've both noticed as you're moving in is that the rocks are extremely loose as you're coming through, and almost like sludge as you go down. You didn't expect that. Like they were almost like the rocks were frail and almost like half melted. So as you went and grabbed them, it was just like sludge coming down.
A slime trail?
It's not slime. It's like sludgy rock.
Okay.
But it's like an intense heat has almost melted these rocks.
Gotcha.
As Androcles, as you're looking about, you do kind of hover about, and in some of the flora, you see there's a pool of water on the inside. As you look at that pool, you see there are 2 bodies laying there. One wearing, we'll say robes, and another wearing armor.
Go and investigate. And I call Magus over and call Brogan over. And
Okay, as you
have
go and
Vorpai-
investigate over, you're kind of hovering over. You see what looks to be a strange-looking rock next to them. As you get closer to that rock, you notice that it is almost like a purple rock that's sitting there next to him, and it looks like some type of strange star metal that you've never seen before.
Ooh. Magus, look here. There's a purple star metal, a type that I've never seen before. So would be appealing to you, my friend. And Brogan, look in here. 2 bodies, one wearing armor, one with robes. Let us pull them out and see what killed them. See what dangers lurk in this cave.
As you go and you look about, you see both of the bodies. All of their skin is like it's almost like it's been completely like pulled in, almost imploded and drained, and you just see the skin barely hanging on to the bones as you pull up. Like the eyes are completely gone out of the eye sockets, and you're just seeing basically skin stretched back across their face, as if something on the inside of them like pulled them in.
Like a spider sucked their blood. Like
You don't see any puncture wounds from what you're just kind of hovering and looking over the bodies. You see several things of interest on them. You see another falcata at the hilt of one of these the warrior or whatever is wearing the armor, and the robed individual as well. You notice that there's some like runes written on these bracers that he's wearing. This is hanging off of his like gangly arms.
Okay, Magus, there might be bracers of armor for you here, which would be wonderful. And then if there's a falcata, if it's enough, I might be able to use that myself because I don't have a decent weapon.
As you're kind of going through the bodies, there is a small crack in the purple star metal that you're next to. As you look up, this light begins to emanate out of that rock, and as that does, there's like a pink smoke that comes out of it. And as you do that, all of it illuminates the cavern, and everyone looking at the cavern turns and looks at this pinkish purplish light that's coming out of the rock itself.
An egg cracking, or like
No, it's a rock.
and the light is coming
Have
out
I
of this.
seen anything like this before with all
No,
of the,
you see this purple smoke orb kind of illuminate out of the egg. Everyone looking at this, make a sorcery saving throw, except for Brogan, because he's immune to magical fear.
Yeah. Do we roll a d20?
D20.
Okay.
Then add your sorcery.
Whatever your sorcery defense is.
That should be a yes.
Okay.
Pretty.
Magus, yes.
Two.
Androcles passes. Vorpai is also immune to this. Magus, you see, and as you stare into this light, you stare into the vastness of time and space. You begin frothing at the mouth, and you do everything you can to leave this chamber. You are overwhelmed with the horror of what you see, and you start scampering, trying to get back up as you're like foaming at the mouth, just in complete and utter fear.
Yes, I am.
Yes. And it's going to be a while. So this, grab a drink, because you're out for a while as you're trying to basically get out of there. With that, this light moves up and it begins moving closer to Androcles. Let's roll initiative. I rolled a 4. As it's menacingly hovering close to Androcles. Oh, good. I go first. It reaches out. It reaches out.
All right, save or die. All right.
With what, like tendrils? With
It's light that's touching you.
that ain't the light of Apollo, pal. That's the light of Ivan Drago. That's what that is.
You must break me.
If he dies,
All right.
he dies.
All right.
He dies.
All right.
What's your armor?
Oh, that's never a good question.
Yeah, no kidding. Needs a 5 to hit me.
Okay, make a death saving throw.
Of course.
You made it.
Did I?
Hang on.
Right, no. Get his hopes up and then say, hang on.
Yeah.
Just kidding, you're dead. Sorry.
It touches your skin. You kind of pull back as you feel whatever is inside you that makes you who you are kind of being pulled out and drained. You recoil back out of just like fear panic as it begins to kind of like hover and kind of like and moves about the cavern. With that, Androcles, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to try to. I'm going to go ahead and inspirit my allies, so that might help Magus. I don't know if he gets that helps at all. I'm gonna look to see. Inspire.
Okay.
Help with anything like that.
All right. So you begin doing that. Brogan, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna whip the Morning Star out and two-hander it, and
Hey, I have a
try to
question.
strike
I have a
through it.
question. Have a question. Androcles, do you get a bonus to sorcery saving throws?
I don't.
No. Do you get a bonus to death saving throws?
No, my
It'd be right here, man. Right here.
no, my bonus is to device and avoidance.
Oh, you failed your save.
I'm dead.
Oh.
You're not dead.
All right.
You're not dead. You're not dead. Well, you might not be dead. You might.
Only mostly dead.
How much constitution do you have?
Oh, Jesus.
15.
How much?
15.
15. All right, subtract 7 from that.
So 8.
You're at 8 constitution as it does drain some of your essence out, and as it does, it kind of you see it kind of vibrate and pulse as the light gets bigger, as you feel part of your essence get sucked into this thing. You try to inspire your friends in this moment, but now it is Brogan, is your turn. Now, Androcles, is that your whole turn? Is starting that up? I think that's just a.
I think it's. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you can still do something else. I think that's just a.
Yeah. Then I'll pull out the glaive and I'll attack it.
Okay, so you pull out the glaive, you step back, and you throw the glaive at it.
Absolutely. Is this like level draining, or am I still doing 1d20?
I'm just you just roll your dice. All this is draining your constitution.
Constitution draining.
You hit. You did hit. So roll your d4 damage. 3 damage. Is that right?
Yeah. It's dagger +2.
Okay.
Turning dagger +2. But do I still get my second attack?
If you don't want to move, you can.
I'm not gonna move.
You hit it again.
Nice.
Man, you are nailing it with the glaive. So another 4. All right, with that, as it sings across the air, the magic illuminates the cavern. It does connect and hit it as you're now doing damage to this. I want to pause for just a second, and I want to pull up a map. All right, with that, we've had the 2 attacks from Androcles. It is now Brogan and Vorpai's turn. Brogan, what would you like to do?
I'm going to heal myself since it's a new day.
Okay.
Fucking shoot it!
Healing hands myself. I don't have any ranged weapons.
It's your bow of Apollo.
Can't
I
pull
can
it.
try to pull it out and see what happens.
You gonna do that, or are you gonna heal yourself?
Yeah, I'll heal myself first. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so heal yourself for 8.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so you stumble back and you ask Apollo to heal your wounds, so you are now full. With that, Magus, you are still trying to get out of here. Vorpai sees this thing attacking the person that's paying her, and that you just connected your attack. She pulls out her sword and shield, runs up and tries to make an attack. She misses with her first attack. She goes right through it, and what she feels is there, and it just cuts through smoke. And with that, it is it's new round. So Brogan, you roll.
All right. Is she in the water now?
It's a small pool. It's only like maybe like a foot of water.
Hey,
you're going on 6. All right, heroes go first.
I thought you were gonna go. Oh, that's right. This
New
is a
round.
new round.
So heroes go. So Brogan, you go.
All right, I'm gonna yell at Vorpai. The Falcata will hurt it, and then I'm gonna charge.
The Falcata that Walian has?
No, the one on the dead people.
Okay.
Perhaps. I don't know. It's just a theory. I don't know. A thought. So I'm gonna charge with the mace in 2 hands.
All right. So you charge using your Righteous Wrath ability. You're going to charge and make your attack. Roll. Oh,
Yeah.
man. Brogan is Morningstar max damage man. That's what he is.
Wow.
All right. So how much damage is that? So it's +4 for Righteous Righteous Wrath.
If you want to make it bleed, take the creed. That's what we say. All right.
If you want to make it bleed, take the creed. All right. So you rolled 10 +4 for Righteous Wrath, and then 1 for the weapon and 2 for strength, and then 1 for mastery. So 18 damage.
Okay, I don't want to fudge anything. Yeah, I'm glad you know the math because I don't.
Yeah, I got it. It's 18. Okay.
I will take it.
Okay,
so
so
next round I get to swing twice.
Right, you run up and you take those 2 swings. As you do that, you're looking at the other side of this thing, this meteor rock. You see that it's cracked, and in that you see what looks to be a sword hilt coming out of the stone itself. Like whatever the meteorite, the star metal is, you see that there's someone had impaled a blade into it, and it looks very intricate.
I might have to distract this thing while I get a new blade.
All right, with that, it is Brogan's. Brogan, you went. Now it's Androcles' turn.
All right. Well, if grabbing the hilt of that blade and pulling it out, can I twist it and attack it? Or
You want to try to pull the blade?
Yeah, I can pull an Excalibur, and I mean, because Brogan is right there for advantage, right? Like we're flanking.
There's
it,
no
if I move in
advantage, just
close.
flanking. Oh, but you.
I want to flank.
Okay.
If I throw, then I'm at a disadvantage because he's right there, right? Like I'm throwing into melee.
If you wanna run up and try to grab it, you can. Because right now it's like this is all happening. The Brogan goes up and just slams the thing. The magical Morning Star slams into this. It dissipates. There's a moment you see the same thing Brogan sees. Do you want to go and try to pull the sword out of the magical? Okay, or the stone. Okay, all right. So you sling the glaive. You run up. You grab the hilt of this one. Can bards use any weapon?
Yes, we can.
All right. You put your. It's hard to pull at first. You pull out this massive blade and as you pull the blade is much bigger than you thought. As you have to take a few steps back to pull out this massive two-handed sword, and as you pull up this sword,
Raycon.
Yeah, I know, right?
you pull this hilt out of the blade.
Seriously.
Yes. So you pull this hilt out of the blade of this massive two-handed weapon.
I don't know what that is, but I'll swing with it if I can. Only get one attack with it, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you only get one attack.
But, hey, whatever, right? Boom. Let's get lucky. Nope.
Okay. You pull the sword out. You unwieldily can bring the sword down. You miss the way that you've never swung a blade this big before. As there's a like a hint. Actually, I take it back. What's your fighting ability?
My fighting ability is a 3, and then flanking. What does flanking give?
You actually will hit with a 6 with this blade.
Dang.
Roll 3d4 damage.
Okay. That was unexpected.
All right, so you do 5 damage. What's your strength bonus? What is your strength?
12.
Okay, so you don't get a strength bonus. So you do 5 damage plus 3 for the blade, so 8.
Okay.
It's a plus 3 weapon.
Okay, whoever rolled that, thank you.
All right, and with that, we go to Magus. Magus, roll a d6 for me. You make it out of the cave, frothing and screaming. As soon as you do that, Walian and Siku look and look in horror as you're running out, just frothing at the mouth. Walian pulls his blade and charges for the cave. Siku goes to grab him and stop him, but Walian is too fast. As Walian is now running to the cave, Magus, you are now running down, just screaming and frothing and making absolutely no sense whatsoever. But Walian, seeing what happened, is running up with his blade. With that, its turn.
Wait. What about Vorpai?
Oh, correct.
Yeah,
Vorpai will make her attack.
Yes.
Nice.
She connects, and the blade flies right through it. She then swings again. It connects and flies right through it. And she goes, "Blast! I can't hit it! How are you hitting it?"
Magical
Wield
weapon.
magic. Take this.
Okay, and with that, it's turn.
It's our turn again. Yeah.
And it's going to go for Brogan, because Brogan hurt it the worst.
Sure.
What's your AC?
2. Is it missile? Well, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter.
You just duck out of the way of this thing touching you. I mean, barely. And with that, it is a new round.
Who
Inspire
rolls?
goes off on this round. So
Everyone is now
it's
inspired. I rolled a 6.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Well,
Magus,
y'all
it's
roll.
Turn to roll initiative for us.
Yeah.
I think Chris rolls.
Magus, roll a d6. Is he frozen? No, he's there.
Magus, come on.
A 1. Perfect. I go first. I'm going to go swing and try to touch That time I got Brogan. Brogan, make a death saving throw.
Okay, it's +2.
That's a 14. You needed a 15. It drains 7 constitution away from you. How much constitution do you have left?
6.
Man.
It drains. You feel it get drained out of you as you kind of like, you lean down as it just pulls its essence out of you. Androcles, you're behind it. Do you want to hand the weapon off or swing?
I drop the weapon to Vorpai and just swing with my glaive.
I'll let you do one attack. Is that fair? All right. So basically, you toss the weapon with one hand, and the other hand, you just throw the glaive. Miss.
But I have a big
Miss.
bonus when I throw.
It's a miss.
All right. A glaive is magic.
Hey, what's the bonus we're getting from Bob's stuff?
Hang on a second. Hang on a second, Bob. Let me fill you. You rolled a 7, and you're a 3.
And +2 for the dagger.
No,
And I don't
you can't
know
get there.
about
No,
ranking.
no.
No problem.
Okay, I checked for you. All right. With that, you toss the weapon, you throw it, you miss, and now it goes to Brogan. Brogan, what are you doing?
What bonuses are we getting from the song
You get a +1.
to hit?
Yeah,
Damage.
Oh, okay.
plus
All
1 to hit and damage.
Yeah, I'll swing. Son of a...
You missed the first one. You hit the second one.
9. Right.
A 9 hits for you.
Let's
Because
see.
fighting ability of 4 with a magic weapon is good.
Yeah, it is.
D10. So this will be +5. Right?
Smite evil? Is there any way to smite evil?
He is.
That only when you
Every
charge.
time he swings that weapon.
Yeah.
You're right.
You connect
Absolutely right.
again as it kind of roils back from the damage of that. Magus, you make it all the way back. Siku goes and grabs you and tackles you to the ground as you're just kind of like shaking back and forth. Hugo goes and runs up to you as well, and they're both trying to restrain you as you're just kind of like shaking back and forth and like almost like convulsing in just fear of what's happened here. So you're really incapacitated for this time. Walian is sprinting and runs up. He deftly, easily climbs down and scales down to the top of the rock where Magus was.
That was 5 + 5 for damage.
I got it.
All right. Good.
So let's add the mighty Walian has charged
Vorpai.
in. Vorpai
boy.
goes and picks up the blade, and she will try to swing the blade. And she will miss. Vorpai has
it was a
rolled
19.
straight
Your
garbage.
cheat codes.
Vorpai
Your
has
cheat
rolled
code.
straight garbage.
I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
take
pull
her
me
money.
over.
All right.
Joker.
All right. I think we're at a new round.
Yes.
Oh God, that's a 20. I'm not getting to use. I rolled the wrong thing. Roll d6. I just wasted a natty. I rolled a 5.
Thank you.
Who's rolling? Me?
Yeah. 4.
The dice keep falling
no,
our
you
way.
did.
All right, let's see. Who am I going to go after this point? It's hit Androcles. It's hit Brogan. All right, so let's
Step in
see.
again.
Androcles is a
I'm gonna
1-2.
draw it.
Hang on. It's going to be random. This is a chaotic thing. So 1-2 is Androcles, 3-4 is Vorpai, 5-6 is Brogan on who it's going for. Vorpai.
Bye.
So it's going to turn and go after Vorpai. It's going to hit Vorpai. Vorpai is going to have to make a save. So this is Vorpai's death saving throw. She fails hard.
Oh.
And she will lose 10 Constitution. Let me check and see how much Constitution Vorpai has. Okay, yeah, she's all right. She's good. She's good. All right. So it encompasses her. It drains her out. You see, like, her skin, like, she becomes frail. Like, her muscles, she becomes emaciated as she kind of drops the weapon to the ground and is, like, trying to hold it up as you just see a shell of a warrior that once was, but she's still somehow standing and staggering to her feet as this light begins to illuminate the cave even more as it is feeding on everything that's in here. With that, it is now your turn. So, Brogan, you go first. You get one attack this round.
All right.
Oh, hard miss. Next up is Androcles.
I'm going to move in to where I'm swinging the glaive.
Well, you're
so
throwing
that
it. Yeah, throwing it. Okay.
Can I just stab with it so I can get the flanking bonus to try to hit?
No.
Should I just throw?
Well, no, you can. You can. I'll let you can hit it. Yeah, it's a dagger. It's still a dagger. So hit.
Nice.
So 4 damage.
4.
Okay. You connect. Stab it. So basically, you're just using it right now just to pummel it. You're not throwing it. Okay. Swing again.
Yes.
That's gonna hit. Damage.
Yes.
Hit again. All right. So you're cutting into this thing as it kind of, the smoke is just kind of moving about. It also is noticing that it's changing colors, and some of the colors you're looking at, you don't even recognize what it is. It's not in a spectrum that you even understand. It's just kind of moving about the cavern. With that, Magus, you're out. Brogan's gone. Vorpai is going to pick up the blade and try to swing again. And she will connect. She will finally connect. She'll do 3d4 plus 6, 9, 10. That's 10 damage. As she cuts the blade, there's a singing sound in the air as the blade is so thin it cuts through. It does cleave the smoke into 2, and now there's 2 little globules of this thing floating about as she kind of heaves it in 2. With that, it is a new round.
Right.
I think it's Chris's turn.
I rolled a 4. Chris is rolling initiative.
Okay, go ahead, Chris.
2! I get to go first again. All right, who am I going after?
You said Chris was rolling. You said Chris was rolling.
No, it's okay. Androcles has got it.
Go ahead.
I'm going after Androcles.
Oh.
I missed. Natty 1.
Miss.
Oh, it is a
That's
critical
awesome.
miss. It is a critical miss. I don't even know how a critical miss will work with this, but we're going to pull up a critical miss chart.
Improvise.
We got a
it has to, I
natty.
mean, you have to follow
Yeah,
the rules.
it's got it.
It's in the water and it's extinguished.
All right, it's a monster. It can't hit an ally. We'll see what I roll and then we'll figure it out. I
2 of them.
rolled a 2. It's just a bad miss. It's just a bad miss. Everyone will get a +1 to attack this round. Huh? It's
just embarrassed.
It's just embarrassed. It's an embarrassed light of smoke. It's so embarrassed. All right, with that, who's up now? That was me. I went first, and now it's your turn. So, Brogan, get your 2 swings in. That's gonna hit.
With all the bonuses, yeah.
The 6 will not. So you hit it once. You roll a 9, so yeah, that'll hit. So 9 damage.
14.
So 14 total damage. Okay. With that, one of the small globules just explodes and dissipates. Now there's just this tiny little globule left floating around the room. Androcles, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna slash it.
Okay. Hit. Okay. Gotcha. All right, second attack. Miss.
Nope.
All right. With that, Walian is going to come up and try to stab it.
Okay.
Let's not forget about Walian. He misses. Vorpai is going to swing.
Come on. Yes.
Wait. That hits. She hits.
Nice.
Yes. Yes.
And she drops it.
Yes.
So she gets
Y'all
all the
stealing my
experience.
kills.
Right. All right. So she lifts up with the last bit of energy she got. She brings the blade down, dissipating this light, this color that just kind of dissipates the cave. About a few minutes later, as everyone's looking about the cavern, there's a good 30 to 40 minutes that pass before Magus stops convulsing and kind of comes to. So it was a long time. So it was 70 total minutes that you were out.
Yeah.
Wow. Lots of foam.
Yeah, there's been
Weird.
so much foam. But all of you have been drained. The ones that were hit were drained of Constitution. We'll have to note that. That's not something that comes back easily. With that,
That's permanent, right? The Constitution, isn't that permanent?
not all of it.
Only
Okay.
half permanent.
Only mostly dead. But as you begin looking about the cavern, you see that there were 2 other adventurers who had come down here to investigate a while ago. They were not as fortunate as the rest of you. As you look about, you do collect there. They were pretty armed. You already found the +3 2-handed sword that they had. You find another falcata. It's a +1 falcata. One of them was carrying a very master-crafted heavy crossbow that was also enchanted. Another +1 heavy crossbow. You find a scroll on one of them. Magus, you discover that this scroll is a magician scroll. You easily read it to say it's remove curse.
Does it also remove bile?
No, you're still just kind of frothing. There is a potion in there that you easily discover using your knowledge of the apothecary arts, that it is a potion of fire breathing.
What about them bracers?
I'm not there yet. There is another potion that is a potion of invincibility. These are all things that he knows that they are. The bracers, you're going to have to identify the bracers, and that takes time.
Interesting.
Yes. So with that, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. It's a good place to pick up. You have defeated this. There is this strange star metal here to investigate. You have defeated the color out of space.
Oh, yeah, I should have seen that.
Yeah. So this is a good stopping point for next week, where we'll pick action back up in the cave as you have felled the beast. So if everyone watching, thank you so much. We had a hairy combat tonight. We almost had some deaths. It was actually pretty close. And then we'll pick up next week for Heroes of Hyperborea. So thank you so much for joining us tonight.